welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Dragon Tooth Miniatures. I'm joined today by our resident Chaos God, Mr. Molly Monell. Hello, Mr. Molly.
Hey, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be here. We got a pretty special rambly show today.
Yes. We are going to be making a tier list of the full Warhammer 40,000 start collectings and combat patrols. So it's going to be very useful information for anyone on the channel that is thinking about maybe starting a new faction or just getting into Warhammer in general.
Or even bulking out an existing army. Because some of these boxes are perfect for adding a little thickness to your 1,500 points and bringing it up to that tournament level.
Yep. Absolutely. And today's hopefully soon to be sponsor is Suntory.
And also Grace's Peanut Punch. It's a Caribbean treat.
Yay! Gotta shout out the Caribbeans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Frickin' ace! Okay, let's start this party off with a Space Marine classic, the Vanguard box set, combat patrol set. So why don't you read out what is in that, Mr. Molly?
Well, what we got in there is it's basically most of the Shadow Spear Space Marine have. So you have push fit infiltrators, push fit eliminators, a push fit Phobos lieutenant, and then the impulsor. Impulsor through transport. And it's a pretty good mix of very useful units with one personal exception. Although suppressors are relatively competitive and can lay down some hella fire, I hate those miniatures. I hate them like I hate stepping in like cat vomit, like with no shoes. Like that's how much I dislike them.
Yeah, I find
and that's for their own.
Yeah, I mean, I find that the one thing I dislike is the impulsor. I don't see a point in this kit for it. If you want an impulsor, you can have an impulsor, but it's a bit heavy. But I do like you do get two troop choices in this box, and a hero choice, which is always very, very good because that's a very good stepping stone for you to get your battalion.
Very much so.
And everything's just extra.
Yeah, because you have a playable army in the box as opposed to some others that may be lacking one aspect or another in order to get like a full playable list. Yeah.
Yep.
Although, good point. The Impulsor literally has no one to transport, because your infiltrators are setting up infiltrator style, your eliminators are scouts, your Phobos lieutenant grav shoots in, and your suppressors have jump packs. So, it's just, I guess, hauling ass, shooting missiles or heavy stubbers.
Yeah,
or really encouraging you to pick up a box of intercessors.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's meant to do, but it's there. It's there. I would have liked to see the new Gladius in that.
Oh, that would have been a much better pick. Like, just have one of the Gladiator tanks.
Yeah.
And realistically, because they are the older push fit models, they probably could have gotten something a little more beefy in there, because the $1 to miniature ratio is not going to be super great. I'm not doing the math. I don't think you want to do the math.
I don't want to do the math,
but F math. We wouldn't have gone to art school if we liked math.
Yeah, I think it works out to a 25% discount or something on the models, which is it's all right, but the stuff you're getting in it isn't the best thing, but it is a good starting point. You do get your two troop choices, and there are good troop choices, and you are definitely going to use them. So I would say
absolutely.
Yeah. So where would you say this falls on, Mr. Molly?
I would say because of the superfluous impulsor and my deep-seated hatred of suppressors, I'm going to give it a high B tier, because I do recognize that overall it is a good value and an excellent starting point. But there are two things that keep it from being absolutely perfect or alternately really damn good. I'm going to put it as good, but not like knock your socks off good. That's my gut instinct.
I am going to put this at around the. For me, I would put it at a high C tier. I find that there are two units, about like 1/3 of the box set, which are a bit like iffy and questionable at best, and I don't know if you can really use them. And the fact that like you're paying such a premium for this box set is a little bit like off-putting for me, and I don't know why.
That's a really good point.
They value the impulsor a lot, and I'm like, don't know about.
Well, because that's where a lot of the price tag is coming. Because I believe the impulsor is just shy of hundo here in Canada. It's like $80.
Yep.
So that's where a lot of your value is coming. But ironically, it's one of the most superfluous parts of this particular box.
Yeah.
So I am actually going to acquiesce, change my mind, and drop that down to a C with you.
Yeah.
Although I still say that it is a good starting point if you're going to buy one thing and you want a playable army and you're not particularly chuffed about going into one of the specialized Astartes chapters.
Yep. I would say so. Yep. And you could use this in any one of the other specialized starting chapters. So there you go.
Yeah, because there's nothing specifically, anything about it. So plug and play. Exactly. Yeah, we got a C tier for our first one. Yep. So Combat Patrol Space Marines.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to be doing more Combat Patrol Space Marines because the next one on our tier is the Dark Angels Combat Patrol. Why don't you read out what is in that?
We got some nice stuff in here. We have possibly one of the sexiest kits out of the new Primaris range. And by new, I mean the last, 6 years now. The Redemptor Dreadnought. That thing is amazing. We got a unit of intercessors, we have a chaplain, and then we have a unit of inceptors, which are I have mixed feelings about jump pack boys.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my thoughts on this, right? I like this Combat Patrol a lot. I would put it at A tier, just because this allows you to get up your Combat Patrol immediately. You have your HQ, you have your troop choice, and it gives you two themed units, because those two multi-part units, you can fit them out with plasma, and Dark Angels loves plasma.
All about the plasma.
Yeah, and a chaplain is pretty much what you kind of want with them anyway. At at small points games with these guys, because you want to be able to get that extra +1 to wound, especially without your plasma overcharging. That is insane.
Yeah, absolutely. So from a gameplay perspective, you have very competitive contents. Thematically, the Chaplain also works brilliantly with Dark Angels because they're very closely tied to the background of the chapter. I would agree, A tier box set, especially for a patrol detachment, because you got your 1-in-1, and then you got an elites and a fast attack choice.
Yeah.
And yes, I would check everything in here out with plasma.
Yeah. And the great thing about this kit is that you are going to be using all these units at higher pointage games. All the
very much so.
are very usable, and it is something you want to use in a Dark Angels army, which I'm very happy with that. Combat Patrol, highly recommend. Can't recommend highly enough.
Not to mention also, if you you also get the Dark Angels accessory kit or sprue in this, so that allows you to make your sergeant have like a Calibanite style power sword. You can add little Dark Angel bibbity bobs to everybody to make them feel more Dark Angel-y. That being said, there's nothing stopping from you from purchasing this if you're not a Dark Angels player. Since all the units, as we've mentioned, are very competitive, very high tier, just don't use all the Dark Angel parts. Put them in the bits box for a future conversion, trade them, sell them on eBay, do as you will.
Thanks.
But solid box for everybody.
Yeah, solid box for any Space Marine player. And yeah, okay, so third box set we have the Space Wolves Combat Patrol. This is an interesting one. Oh, this is an interesting one. So I kind of like this one.
Interesting one.
So why don't you read out like what's in it?
Well, first and foremost, we have your Invictor War Suit, which is like your weird baby dread slash thing from the Matrix. You have a full squad of intercessors, so full 10. You have 5 Reavers, which are to be used as Fangs of Mordecai, which are like special psyker hunting Reavers that the Space Wolves get, and you get a very, very snazzy but very chapter specific Space Wolf Lieutenant.
Yeah. Right, okay, so I love this Combat Patrol because it gives you a full 10-man intercessor squad, which is very rare in these Combat Patrols, and it gives you a 5-man Reaver squad. Reavers are multi-part kits, so technically can you build them as Infiltrators? I don't actually know.
No, you can only build them as Reavers. You can just load them out with a wide variety of weapons. So you can go like pistol knife, you can go with the carbine, you can go with the grappling hooks, you can go with the grab shoots. All of those are options in the kit.
All right, fair enough. So the Reavers,
and as someone who fields Reavers, they're trash. Like they are a garbage unit.
Yeah.
But I love mine. I love them with all my heart, and every time they do anything even remotely of use, I am overjoyed.
Yes.
That being said, do not let that throw you off. Sometimes subpar units add a level of challenge to gameplay that can be very rewarding and fun. 100% power gaming gets really old really fast.
Yeah. But the 10-man intercessor is very, very nice. I would take the 5-man Reavers, the 10-man intercessor. That is a very nice addition. The Invictor War Suit is also a very nice addition to this kit and to any army as well. So if you are not familiar with it, yeah, the Invictor War Suit has forward deployment just like your scouts and infiltrators. So
not to mention it is covered in guns.
Yeah, it has a lot of firepower, and it's right there in your face at like turn 1, which is quite scary.
Yeah, very scary. Excellent distraction Carnifex.
Yeah.
Really good at exploiting weak points in lines. I've never used one myself. Yeah, making weak points in lines. I've never used one myself, but I've seen them used to deadly effect many times. And something that I just thought of with the Fangs of Mordecai and them being anti-psyker, we may see a increase in usage on that particular Reaver variation. Now with the upswing of the Age of the Eldar coming at us, So we all know they're going to be psychic big boys and like throwing around all sorts of shenanigans. So maybe having an anti-psyker deep strike terror unit will suddenly become very helpful.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and plus the lieutenant, simple lieutenant. Yep, that's a really nice model. He's no slouch in combat as well. Like, I like him. He's a pretty good fit. But I believe a lieutenant is not a HQ choice.
No, it is an HQ choice. You can just take 2 for every 1 slot.
Okay.
It's the I think it's the apothecary and the tech marine that are elites.
I see. Yeah. So yeah. It's a great kit. Like I like the mass of models you get in this.
Mm-hmm. And they're all. Oh, and once again, you do get the chapter specific upgrade sprue. That comes with shoulder pads and accessories and little wolfy ho-hos to make your boys look all the more barbaric.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So where do you think this box set is going to go on our tier list?
This one, I am with more confidence going to stick at a solid B+. Everything in there is great, except for the Reavers. They're not optimal, but we already talked about that. My thing that keeps it from being an A is the very chapter-specific lieutenant, which prevents it from being as easy to plug into other forces. Because otherwise, 10 intercessors and the Invictor, I'm fairly certain those 2 models alone close to cover the cost of the box.
Yeah, like those Invictor War Suit around here is about $110, and an Intercessor Squad is
I think it's $90 here.
Yeah, so it's like that this is a very value box. So yeah, very good. So I'm gonna put this at a solid.
Even if you view the rest of it as chaff, you're still saving, and give Reavers a chance. Maybe they will surprise you.
Yep, absolutely. Next box. More Space Marines. We have the Blood Angels. The
Bloody Angels. Boys.
Blood Angels Common Patrol. Yes. What do they get?
This one again, we get the Impulsor tank, which is great. Only because it comes with 5 intercessors, which can actually make use of the Impulsor.
Yeah.
We also get 3 aggressors, which can also fit in the Impulsor. They count as 2 each.
They're going to be so good in the Impulsor. Yes.
See, that's a viable use for an Impulsor. Get your big Flame Stormy / Bolt Stormy boys up and close where they can do their thing. You get a 5-man squad of Infiltrators and the bomb sculpt that is the Primaris Librarian.
Ooh, also. That's all good. That's all good stuff. I love this kit, especially for Blood Angels players, because the Aggressors...
We want to get close, we want to get nasty, we want to be in there fast.
Yeah, the Aggressors are surprisingly good in melee combat because they do get power fists and they do punch really hard.
Yeah.
So you can just put them in the pulsar, it pops out, shoots a bunch of stuff, and then charges in and just minus Calgar style, just double power fist something.
Yeah.
Whoosh. It's like,
just lay down them knuckles.
Yeah, it's like, was not expecting that. No one ever expects the Blood Angels. The Infiltrators are always good. I love Infiltrators with all my heart and soul. I think they're one of the best kits and the best utility units for Space Marines. They are just so good. They have so much fun.
It should actually be noted, this is also the multi-part kit, so you can build them as what the heck are the other ones called? Inter-somethingers.
The other infiltrator unit that is not as good.
Yeah, with the
Infiltrators.
ugly box thing on its back that I always convert to look different.
Yes.
Which are also very useful. Their EMP mine, it can be a giant pile of hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah. Although I generally prefer infiltrators myself and tend to field them more often.
Yeah. Also because the infiltrators are kind of like fire and forget. They kind of do their thing without like you having to remember certain things. Whereas EMP mines, you gotta kind of remember that they're there.
Yep. And they're a little less of a specialized unit because they've got the medium range fire, they've got the up close and personal with the paired combat knives, and then they've got their mine shenanigan. Yeah,
they're slightly, the infiltrators are slightly tanky as well because they've got the Helix Adept option as well. So they ignore the first failed armor save. So, funnily enough, it makes them very immune and very tanky against some of the highest damage, things in the game. So, like if they get shot by a Vindicator Assassin, and it's the first shot they take, they just ignore that.
It's like, shut up.
It's like, what? And like if they get shot by, I don't know why you would shoot them with like this, but if they get shot by a Tower Hammerhead, they ignore the first shot they take. So, which is I think is quite hilarious because it involves solve. They just ignore.
Let me just put a band-aid on that railgun hole. You're fine.
You're
so
fine.
Bill, where would you put this on the ranking? I have
A tier.
A tier. A tier. What would make it S for you?
What would make it S? What would make it S for me would be I would.
I know what would make it S for me.
Yeah. So what would make it S for me would be I would like to see not a librarian, but I would like to see a lieutenant and an apothecary.
Lieutenant and an apothecary would be freaking badass.
Or sanguinary.
I was going to say pop out the librarian, and if there was a captain in here, then this thing would be like S tier plus plus. Like with his command bubble and everything you got going on, like you would have a very competitive army right off the gate. So I'm going to agree with you. A tier for this.
Yeah.
I love the librarian model, but librarians are not the best.
For Blood Angels, well, you'd want a librarian, but the librarian you'd really want.
No, Blood Angel librarians are pretty badass. The Wings of Sanguinius make them really mobile, and then I think it's the Blood Rage one.
Yeah, but let's face it, like the actual librarian you really want in Blood Angels is Mephiston.
Oh yeah, you want not Big Daddy Dracula. You want him bad.
You want Mephiston, and every other librarian, if you put him in the army, it's just going to seem like a bit like, I don't know if I should have brought him or not. But yeah, that is a very good starter set. So get that if you're really thinking of like starting Blood Angels. Blood Angels. Very fun.
Or even any Space Marine chapter except for Black Templars.
Yes. All right then. Next thing we have, I believe, is the Chaos Space Marines Carbon Patrol. Start collecting.
It's a favorite.
It is a favorite. It is a very good classic, and why don't you read out what's in there?
Well, it is literally the Chaos half of Shadow Spear. You get a Master of Possession. You get 2 Greater Possessed. You get a 10-man squad of Chaos Space Marines, complete with plasma gun and autocannon, and champion. You get 2 obliterators and a venom crawler, which is a sadly underutilized demon engine that can actually do a lot of work.
Yeah, like I have had the displeasure of having a vehicle squadron, like a 3-man vehicle squadron of them, come at me one time, and it was like, oh yeah, I've never seen these. These are fine. It's like, nope, they're definitely not fine. Nope.
Nothing about this is fine. Robot spiders are all up in my shit.
They're all up in my shit, and also they have a lot of attacks. They deal a lot of mortal wounds. So even like putting up some of the big tyranid monster creatures against this thing, this little blob of like 3, venom crawlers, is actually pretty scary. It's pretty spooky.
Yeah. It should be noted that these are all push fit. So if that affects your decision making, if you're big on conversions and like having a lot of variety, you will be a little disappointed in the lack thereof.
Yep.
The value is still very good, and it is the only place you can get some of these models still. Like the Obliterator, the Venom Crawler, the Greater Possessed, and the Master of Possession, I believe, are still only available in this box set.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. So, and not to mention this box set, at least where I'm from, it's about $50 less than the Combat Patrols, which we've just seen.
Yes, same. If you go to a third or like a mom and pop shop, you can usually get this for under $100.
Yeah, this thing is such immense value. I can't give it anything else but an S tier. This thing is like it's a favorite.
Yeah, I will agree completely, especially because it has inbuilt synergies. Because your Master of Possession is going to do fantastic stuff for your Greater Possess, and because both the Obliterators and the Venom Crawler have the Demon keyword, he can also do all sorts of nasty fun times with them as well.
Yep, absolutely. He's a Chad. So this is definitely going to
total Chad. Yeah, this is going to be an agreement on an S tier. I would also like to note Obliterators are just really cool, especially the most recent iteration of them.
Yeah,
I love my giant meat Terminators. Yeah,
these are so cool, and the fact that you get a 10-man new Chaos Space Marine squad box is very, very nice. It is. This is like your army and a half. This is what you are going to use.
Boom. The start collecting is everything you need to start your core, regardless of if you want to go a specific legion. Everything in here fits pretty nicely, and would be easy to plug in 1 or 2 box sets, and suddenly you have a very nice Laneshi Emperor's Children's Army. I'm actually using this as a core for a friend's World Leaders Army. There's nothing negative to say about this motherfucker.
Imagine if you bought 3 of these start collectings. You would have 3 Venom and 3 units of Greater Possessed, or like 1 big unit of 6 of them. That is a scary prospect. And just all the Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah, that running up on you, you're gonna wish you're wearing your brown pants.
Yeah, and just kit out like 30 Chaos Space Marines with bolter and chainsword, bolt pistol and chainsword. Oh my gosh, just running across the field. That is an insane army. That is just like, that is so scary to deal with.
That is definitely the bee's knees.